Hey, we're back. I'll just get my water and I'll be on the mat in a sec. Everybody, welcome back. Great to get going again now. It's so nice that it's bright when we're starting our class. It's fab. Makes some difference to the energy even. We're going to start in sitting. So if you get your two little blocks, if you have them, and you can just position them somewhere in the middle of the mat, that would do just fine. Obviously, if you don't have the blocks, you know at this stage you can use absolutely anything. Cushion, thick blanket, anything like that. And let's sit up tall at the start. And I kind of have this idea of a moving relaxation at the very start in sitting. So it'll be really slow for the first 5 minutes or so, 6 or 7 minutes. And the intention is like, instead of lying there completely still while we take a breath and slow down, we're going to be just gently moving parts of our body and sitting. So it's just a different way to do it. I hope you like it. I'll meet you on the mat now in a moment. Cool. So as you know, at this stage, your legs can go into any position in sitting. Some people like the cross-legged sitting position, and some people, their hips just don't tolerate it for too long. Sitting on something is the secret to hip discomfort, actually. So that's often one of the main reasons I do it. Now, just to show you a position that you might like and maybe haven't tried before, often this cross-legged sitting position is kind of hard, whereas I find this one easier. It'll be different now for everyone. If you take one foot and pull it really close into the blocks or whatever you're sitting on, and you kind of have to perch at the edge of the blocks, then maybe the knee goes near the floor, maybe it doesn't. Wait and see. Put the other foot in front of that foot. Now, if I was to just kind of not make an effort here, that knee would stay lifted. But if I just slightly kind of rock side to side and adjust my positioning on the blocks, I can get into this position, which suits my knees. It's fine for them, no pain. Suits the hips as well, and that's fine. And I could stay here for a half an hour and it would be fine. Mightn't suit everyone, but it's just worth a try. Now, funny thing is, if I did it the other way around, completely different story. That my legs don't like the other way around, or it just doesn't suit. I feel like it's too strong a stretch for this part of the hip. So it's just to give you a little idea of something you can try, something that you might like. And when you find something that works for you, and that's the secret again, just finding what feels right for you today, which might be different to yesterday or what might be better for you tomorrow. We just find our own little space. And I think one of the best parts of a yoga practice and what we have developed now over the last year, this home practice, is that when you close your eyes and you take your spot on your mat and you start, you create an area of peace and quiet all around you. So you may notice the faraway sounds first, that's normal. Cars maybe outside, or doors in the house, or just life going on outside of your little area now. So let your senses pick up on those faraway sounds, tune into them for a moment. And then bring your awareness to the room that you're in. Notice if there are any sounds there. And then we bring our awareness much closer onto the mat, within ourselves. Noticing any areas of discomfort in the body. Change that position if you feel anything. If you're getting feedback from the body, picking up on that signal, you can modify it. And with each breath, we soften our bodies. With each breath, we are truly arriving on the mat, ready and able to give ourselves a little bit of self-care time, a bit of time to look after ourselves physically, but also just to take a complete break from life. Inhale length into your spine, so maybe just lifting a little bit, creating a bit of space with that breath in. And exhaling, releasing the old, letting go of the day so far. Letting go of words and mentality like should and could. And just in your own mind, repeat the phrase, the three little phrases: I am, I can, and I will. We give the back of our necks the most delicious and easy stretch now. Gently moving your chin down towards your chest to feel that gorgeous pull across the back of the neck. You may feel it across the top of the shoulders too. You can have the eyes open or closed is nice here too, because when your eyes are closed, you're much less likely to be distracted from the feeling of the stretch. Now just tilt your head to one side as if you're taking your nose to the armpit, and just enjoy what that brings you. It's a slightly different stretch, a deeper pull, a deeper lengthening of the muscles of one side of the top of the shoulder, upper trapezius area. And then we slowly take our head over to the opposite side. So the chin is down, the nose is moving in the direction of the underarm, and you're getting a gorgeous, deep stretch in a muscle called your upper trapezius. Some of you will feel this near the ear, some near the neck, some near the shoulder. Slowly return to the center and gently take your head back up over your body. Gently rotate your head all the way one way and then all the way the other way. Keeping the eyes closed now, a little shoulder shrugs if you can now, just to unclench, unclick, clear out the joints a little bit. What have they been doing all day? You just want them to gain a little bit of fluidity back, and then we change the direction of those circles. And then And we can place one hand on the floor beside you. You can look if you're not sure. Other arm will reach up and just go straight up for the moment. Straight up, straight up. Then take the arm over as far as you're comfortable, feeling a delicious, easy to do side stretch. Now where I'd like you to go with this, it's subtle now, but it's a big breath into the underarm area to create even more space there. And we're going to gently move and twist the body a little bit now with our breath. And inhale rotates us back, and exhale rotates us forward. So a breath in to almost turn your underarm to the ceiling, and a breath out to rotate that underarm towards the floor. Another one or two. Really nice, slow, steady stuff now at the start. Now take the arm down. It's going to feel a little bit tired. It's been up there for a while. Change sides. Straight into it. One arm down and go up to the sky first. So really make an effort to reach here. Energize that top hand. Take a big underarm breath here just to get a good stretch in that angle, and then carry on. Go further. Now, do you notice how the more oomph and energy you put into the hand, the bigger the stretch? Same effect with the breath. The more you take a breath towards the underarm area, the more you're going to get a bit more space where you might require it. And then breath in, underarm to the ceiling, breath out. It's a little rotation in the opposite direction. So breathing in, rotating up, breathing out, rotating down or forwards. Keep the neck soft, the jaws unclenched. You could have the eyes open or closed. When you know what the movement is, you might want to and feel good about turning your attention completely inwards to the feeling of this rather than what it looks like. I'd say by now as well, when you're familiar with the moves, you might find yourself hardly looking at the screen sometimes and just being guided by my voice from time to time. I like when that happens with classes. Okay, take down the arm. My goodness, it's tiring, isn't it? Okay, shake out the arms, take those legs out of that position. Stretch them right out in front of you and just give the knees a little bit of a wobble around there. And the shoulders, the feet, they often just need a little bit of a release. The hands as well, love it all, so you may as well do it for all of those joints, and then we'll get into all fours and we'll start doing some cat and cows and we'll take it from there. It's going to flow quite nicely from that, okay? Right, socks off if you have them on, and I'll meet you in all fours where we'll just start straight into cat and cow and get our spine looked after. So great work so far, slow and steady. Most of that now is for the upper body. We're now going to kind of concentrate on the back and then move down to the lower body a little bit. Spread out the fingers wide, and if you've been doing a lot of work with the hands lately, just make sure to kind of warm them up whatever way you feel is best. You'll find that even after a week off, that, you know, when you're not leaning into the hands, they get kind of weak quite quickly. So don't be surprised if they feel a little bit under pressure, even doing a cat and cow. Curl the toes under just to give yourself a little toe stretch, and then you know what to do. Head and tail up. Lovely, and then we round the spine. Definitely encourage you to close your eyes here, because your back has been through whatever it's been through today, wants a stretch in certain positions. It wants to be pushed and stretched into certain corners, and that's going to be different for everyone. And when you close your eyes doing a cat and cow, you can really feel out, God, where do I need to push here? You know, it's okay to lean over to one side a bit here. Get your waist stretched out a little bit. It's okay to bring in a little tail wag here and kind of improvise and move intuitively into what you feel your body is kind of craving and asking you for today. Bring the knees together now and point the toes. We'll take one leg out to the side and do small enough little circles, and then we'll create bigger circles. and really try and explore our hip range of motion here. Don't need it to be fast. It's just to get a little bit of space around the hip. Change the direction now. You can always start small and grow big, or you might want to just kick off. Get straight into the big circles. Keep your elbows strong, arms powerful. Breath, just not holding it. Lovely. Bring the two knees together. Change sides. Small enough circles will do initially, but then you want to get kind of creative and you want to see, right, what can this hip do? If, like me, you have clicks, that's just normal. That is just the way we came out of the mold. Nothing wrong there, just percussion. Change the direction of your circles. Strong arms, you feel the old hands now already. They can often be getting a little bit fatigued now. We'll take the pressure off them in a sec. A lovely bit of pressure off now. Knees out wide, gentle child's pose. Bend your elbows and put your hands at the back of your head together. Soften here. Every breath you take in this position, I wanted to help you soften the body somewhere. You'll find different places will soften at different times of the class. Just notice for yourself what bit kind of gives a little bit here. Interlace your fingers. Bring your hands down onto the mat with the fingers linked, and then slowly move forwards. So you're now leaning into your elbows and your hands are linked. Bring your knees close together. Move forwards and back. This is a little gentle shoulder strengthener. Forwards and back. You want to go full hog on this. You bring your nose to the mat in front of your hands. Try and see. Boop. And back. Go only as far as you feel comfortable, okay? Breathe. It's an upper body strength exercise. Little bit of abs, little bit of tummy strength required for this, but the shoulders take 99% of it. Lots of breath. All right, let's take the hands as if they're going to do a downward dog or something fun like that. We're actually not though. We're going to come right up into plank. Take your left foot halfway up the mat and lean onto the outer edge of your back foot. So the left knee is over the left heel and you're going to reach the top arm up. Let's straighten now. Straighten the long leg. Straighten the top arm. Push into the left heel to get a good stretch. Try lowering the hips a little. Whoa, that's a nice little stretch, isn't it? And back up again. Whoa, didn't expect that. Let's bring the hand down. And now it's downward dog. Just a quick one. And then come all the way back to your hands and knees. We take the hands just straight up in front of us here. Give them a little shake out after that fun one. Interlace the fingers, roll them around a little bit. I'm quite conscious that when you haven't been doing it regularly, if not, that the hands might be getting a little tired from time to time. Just anything that feels good now for your upper body. And we'll do the other side there with that cool little plank. Let's bring your hands forward, up into plank. Right foot halfway up the mat, the toes turn off to the side, and then you pivot on the baby toe side of your long back leg, right arm up to the sky. Now straighten the long leg, push into the heel of the right leg, reach into the top arm, all the while breathing, of course, no holding the breath here. The muscles need that oxygen. And then slowly, see what it's like to lower and lower and lower your hip. You don't have to lean into the ground here. Just go as far as you feel comfortable. It's a massive stretch. And then push back up again. Great work. Hand down, downward dog, just a brief one. Brilliant. And now walk the feet up to the front of the mat. Gorgeous work. Slowly come all the way up. And shake it off. Brilliant. I'll change my position so you can see. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, hands to heart center, simple. 3 of those helps just to steady the breath. And exhale. Beautiful. Next time the arms go up, we're going to float them all the way down to the mat. So exhale all the way down, bend the knees, a nice little forward fold here. Now we're upside down. Let's let the head hang, let it totally dangle. And we're going to just move the head and neck around a little bit so that we can ensure that the neck muscles are doing as little as possible. It's very hard to make them go off duty. So I'm kind of rubbing mine now just to kind of encourage them, if you get me. Let's push strongly into the heels, lift the hips to get a nice healthy stretch the whole length up through the back of the legs. They need it. I really have that feeling now today after a bit of a break that I always have to keep on top of my hamstrings or else they really just seize up. This feels great. Let's bring your elbows now up onto your thighs. Lower the bum and heel toe your feet together. Feet and knees now are fairly close, okay? Reach your palms up to your heart center. We're in this little chair pose now. Inhale and exhale. Turn to one side. Let's connect elbow to outer knee if you can. Lift the chest. A little bit of heat to this, isn't there? If you've just had a bit of food now, you're going to feel like burping probably, but sure. You'll be grand. Back to the center, turn to the other side, and elbow to knee. Woo! Heat and strength, gotta love it. Well done. Back to the center, all the way up again. Widen out your legs now, mat width apart. And exhale the hands all the way back down again. So a different position of the legs will give us a different place of stretch in the hamstring. So let's play around with this. Upside down, softening the head, neck and shoulders. Almost imagining here that there's a waterfall starting at your lower back that trickles all the way down your spine, over the back of the neck, off the back of the head. And just let that flow for a minute. Make sure the toes aren't gripping. And we'll press now into one heel. Go for the one side first. Pushing strong into one heel. And when you're pushing into that heel, try lifting that hip a fraction higher. So you're kind of deviating this now to one side. Heel and hip working with each other to help get that stretch. Let's move toward the other leg now. So pushing initially into the heel as the first action. While lifting the hip a fraction. It's so subtle, I don't even know if you can see it. It's more of an action that you feel from the inside out. Softening, continuing to soften the upper body because it will keep kind of re-tensing. It keeps getting involved, doesn't need to. So you keep reminding it. Amazing. Let's come back to the center, bend the knees, put your elbows on your knees in that position. Lower your bum a little bit, soften and wiggle out the shoulders. And let's bring our hands to our heart center. We're not going to do the twist here. Instead, we're going to work on our foot strength, okay? And our foot strength means we're going to come up onto the tippy toes. Whoa, wobbly, but good for you. Lift your chest. Lower your bum as low as you want. Lots of quads in that too, isn't there? Let's bounce it back to downward dog. I know you're thinking, what? Hands down, legs back, up in the air, and pedal it out. Amazing. Just little movements, you know the score. You know what to do. Lovely for the feet and ankles after what you've just done. Fantastic. Come forwards into plank, strong plank for a breath or two. Push the ground away. And then you can come all the way down to the ground, your way. Once you're down on the ground, we're going to lift the chest, get a lovely little cobra stretch. Pushing down into the feet, squeeze the glutes, pelvis to the mat. Lift the chest, pushing into the elbows. Broaden across the front of your chest, almost as if your collarbones could get wider, further apart, imagine. Now, here's a bit of crack, all right? I want you to try and do a cat and cow from here. So head up, breath in, head down, breath out. Lift your hips. Head up, breath in. Head down, breath out. Lift your hips. One more, head up, breath in. And again, head down, breath out. Round your back. Ease back, child's pose again. Knees out. Find your own little comfort zone here now. So it might be two of your little fists protecting the forehead. Or you might think, you know, I want to stretch out my arms and get a bit better in terms of arm stretching. Take a couple of moments here, all to yourself, just to tuck away from the world and have a quiet moment. Soften the body with every breath. And then ease yourself in to a forwards position, hands and knees, and do now just perfectly. I'd like you to come to lying on your right hand side, propped up on your elbow, straight bottom leg, top leg just up here out of the way. Interestingly now, there's kind of two areas you're going to get benefit from here. One is the waist, for sure. You're getting a nice little stretch there. It's not much, but it's something, okay? The more you are elevated, see that difference compared to kind of slouched down, the better for you. So try and kind of set yourself up there. Elbow under shoulder, propped up, totally propped up. Now, I'd like you to make sure this bottom leg isn't off at an angle, forwards or back. It's straight down. The foot is at a 90-degree angle. So this is new. This is going to work on your inner thigh, adductor, okay? To work on it, we have to lift that foot off the mat. And we're going to do tiny little pulses. And you'll feel nothing for the first minute or two. Not that I keep you at it for a minute. You know what I mean? The first few reps, grand. Keep going. You'll find your body will start dipping. So keep propping yourself up. And keep pulsing. Propping and pulsing. That's what I get up to on my time off, I think. What other bits can I add into these classes? But this is a little bit more of a physio exercise. It's one to strengthen our adductors, groin area, pelvic floor. Win, win, win is all I can say about that. And it'll feel a little tight now, so we just give it a rest. All right, and to stretch it a little bit deeper, come back up into that position if you can. That just gives the glutes a little stretch. We'll stretch the adductor in a moment. Flip over, and you'll find it interesting to see are both sides the same, different, you know, prop yourself up first. Straight, long, inner leg. This leg's kind of just out of the way. It doesn't have to be anywhere specific, really. Now, how's this leg lifting? Personally, not as easy on this side. Little pulses. So if you were interested in doing something a little stronger here, you'd throw on an ankle weight or something. Hard enough though without it, isn't it? Lift your chest, get tall, breathe. And make sure it's not just your foot moving, because I can see my own foot just going off on a little movement there. Compensation. Oh, not as easy, this one. Really make sure you're on your side, not lying on your back. Keep going, keep breathing. You're working well. Woo. Pop the leg down. Hand, prop up. Nice work. Come on down. Lie on your back for a sec. Take the feet together. Take the knees apart. And now we're giving the adductor muscles a little release. So having strengthened them and activated them, we're now just letting them be. There's another little strengthener coming up for them in a sec. Take one of your blocks and put it in between your feet. Hopefully you have them. If not, don't worry, you can use something else. One of the blocks in between your knees. And then rest your arms down by your side, palms facing up the way. Start off here with a little pelvic tilt, which means gently press your lower back into the floor and then release it. At the moment, you're not squeezing the blocks. You're just supporting them in the position they're in. You're just kind of propping them there. But this pelvic tilt here is so good for your lower back and your glutes and your abdominal muscles. So we're just changing into a little bit more of a strength-based setup here now for the middle part of the body. And a gorgeous, gorgeous, delicious stretch for the back line of the body. You ready to lift this one up into a little bridge? Take your time about it. All that means is squeeze the glutes, lift up the hips, and then slowly roll back down again. What I'd like you to try and do with this, as you're at it, is visualize your spine as if it has a string of pearls, like every bone is a pearl, every joint is a pearl. And when you're peeling the back up, imagine peeling up pearl by pearl by pearl by pearl. And when you're on the way back down again, imagine it's section by section, pearl by pearl. It's not like one whack down. It's a very graded, staggered, flowing kind of approach. Slowly up, slowly down. If you've got the hang of that, next time you're lifting up, raise your arms up. Next time you're bringing your hips down, bring your arms back down. And we stay breathing as normal. There's no right or wrong way to breathe with this bit. As long as you're breathing, you've got it. Say you've got the hang of the arms too. You're lifting, you're kind of thinking, I'm into this now. You could start a gentle squeeze of the knee block. That's going to ask your adductor muscles, your groin muscles, to do a little bit more work. Same with your pelvic floor. Same with your glutes. If your hamstrings are overworking, move your feet in closer to your body. Well done. Take away the knee block. Take your knees close to your body so you can take away the foot block for a moment. And then just give yourself a little hug and move around a little bit there. So we're kind of just loosening out the back of the body there a little bit now. Take a glute stretch, crossing one foot over your thigh. Your way, you'll know best. Just to give the hip a beautiful little opening stretch at the back of the body. Nice, healthy, restorative breath in. An exhale that helps you let go of any tension in this hip. I like to move a little bit. You could stay still or you could move. Whatever you feel suits you a little better.
Let's do the other side, crossing over. You could have your hands now around the back of the thigh or the knee, whatever suits you again. You decide what's kind of more appropriate, what's more comfortable. What do you like the feel of? And I want to get quite specific now in a minute with a hamstring and a hip flexor. So the hamstring is at the back of the thigh, the hip flexor is at the front of the hip. And we're going to kind of work on them in a combined movement now in a sec. You'll need a strap for this bit. If you don't have a strap, a jumper would do. Anything that's long, you use the arms of the jumper. I'll show you. Right. One leg is on the floor, other leg is high in the sky. Your two hands or one hand are around your knee joint, so not way back here. Way up there close to the knee joint would be the job for this now. The strap is somewhere in the middle of the foot. The heel is pushing to the ceiling. The hip on that side is trying to move away from my shoulder. And that'll really stir in a nice little hamstring stretch on this leg. So once you've got that established, we can move to work on the other leg at the same time. So straighten the other leg and point the toes to the ceiling. Take a deep breath in, and as you breathe out, you're lifting. Breathe in to lower. Breathe out to lift. And continue. The slower you can do this, the more you pick up out of it, the more strength you gain. This is primarily giving the leg and the strap a hamstring stretch. But the leg on the move is getting strength built into the hip flexor at the front of the hip. And a little hint of abdominal work too. You'll feel your moving leg getting heavier as the muscle tires, the one that's lifting it. Sure, that's a great thing. That just means like you're working into the strength aspect of it. You're working it a little bit to fatigue. Now we're not looking for complete fatigue and cramp or anything here. We're just trying to wake up parts of it, challenge parts of it that might not be challenged normally in this way. Keep things strong, keep things healthy. You're doing great. Beautiful hip flexor stretch after this. All right. Swap sides. Doing great. So the strap is in the middle part of the foot, holding it somewhere near the knee. Knee can be a little bent, that's fine. You're trying to move the hip of the stretching leg away from your shoulder. Do you see how that immediately creates a stronger sensation of stretch? So try and maintain that one. Keep that one on the go there. Toes of the long leg point up to the ceiling. And when you're ready, big breath in and a huge breath out to help you. Breathing in lowers the leg with control. Breathing out for the lift. Slower you do it, the more you're going to gain from it. I know if the leg is getting tired. Stay with me. 2 more will do it. Really strong ones now. Let's get both legs into the strap now. So a little supported stretch. On top of the stretching and strength work, huge elevation benefits here. So, thinking of where those feet are most of the time, they're now floating way above your heart. The circulation getting a complete boost back to your middle, back to your core, your center. And let's slide the legs out nice and wide if you can. Find your comfort zone there. Push your feet into the strap. Relax the shoulders as much as you can here. I know it's hard when you're holding onto the strap, but as much as you can do, push the heels away from you, push the feet into the strap. Enjoy some breath here, some time just creating space in the body where you need it most. And then we slide those legs back together. You want to lose the strap and just take the knees gently into your chest. I promised you a hip flexor stretch after that, a really nice one. It's quite deep. You might need a cushion for it. Let's just see how we get on. You need to get into a lunge position first, so I'll show you that. So, cushion. One leg in front. I like the knee on the cushion now because it's just, it's a tough one on the knee joint if we want to get deep into the hip flexor from this position. And where we want to go from here, once you have the knee happy, that can take a few seconds. If you want to see, can you grab the foot behind you? It doesn't matter which hand you grab it. Like you can see, I grabbed it with the alternative hand, the opposite hand. Now, if we can get that, great. If you can't get it, how about lying on your tummy and seeing if you can grab your foot behind? Like a classic quad stretch. This one just gets a little further up into the front of the hip. Once you've got it, you got to squeeze your bum cheek of the side you're working on. Same principle. If you were lying on your tummy, grabbing your foot, you're squeezing your bum cheek to really deliver, to really help you in there to the deepest part of the hip muscle. On top of it all, I didn't even mention it, but it is a balance exercise. You can't deny that one. Nice work. Let's change sides. Take your time. So your options are obviously same as the other side. You can lie on your tummy. You could always try both options, because different sides of the body behave differently. Comfortable knee. Upright. So the knee could be right under you or a little bit behind you. Whatever range you can manage, that's what you go with. And you grab and see, right, can we get a hold of this? Some days we can, and some days it's just a little trickier. But I know if you get it, you can really feel it. It pulls in quite a strong hip flexor stretch, and you squeeze the bum cheek of the leg you're working on, because that will provide a far deeper layered stretch. As you know, and I've said it so many times, your muscles are kind of like they have layers to them. And all these different cues I give, the position might give you one layer of a stretch, but cue after cue, you'll get kind of deeper, deeper, deeper into the muscles, creating more and more space. And that happens over time with experience, about to go, and practice. Look, we've got couches here, and we can just lean onto. Biggie. You're so close, nearly there. Let it go gently. Ooh. Come back to child's pose. And know that you've the hardest part of it all done now. Your first class back on Thursday evening. Well done. I want you to try and make yourself now as comfortable as possible. So we're moving right in now to Shavasana, to the time where it's all about relaxation and restoring your battery, recharging and just lying back and having some time off without having to do a thing. So if you had a pillow, use it. Get as comfortable as you can now on your floor, on your mat, warm as you can. I'm just going to dim down one of the lights. I'm going to talk you through everything. You have all the work done now. As you're settling down, with each breath, soften your body. It's like a ripple effect, this deep, softening breath that goes not just into your lungs and heart, but as you can imagine, across every little cell in your body, every little organ, every part of you benefits from a consciously relaxed, slow breath. This is a stage in a practice of yoga where we move from learning, doing, controlling, predicting, thinking about the moves, our bodies. We transition to a phase now where we kind of let go of the need to control anything, or the need to predict anything, the need to do anything. And we detach for a while from the past and the future. In this space that you have created, we sit with the present moment. Stillness, ease, and your perfect breath. With each ongoing breath, we soften again. Different areas of the body will come down at different stages.
We let go of the need to know, to control, to predict. And we keep our mind as close as we can to ourselves, our breath, and our body. Ask yourself if your mind is not with your breath or body, where does it go? And does that deserve your time at the moment? It is normal and expected for our minds to drift off into regular thoughts, life stuff. But I'll help you. I'll hold your hand and I will guide you to draw back your mind to the right now, the place between the past and the future, right back to this space right now that you create. Again, send a little signal with your next breath out to soften your body somewhere else, noticing how different parts continue to release at different stages. Visualize the front part of our bodies, scanning down from the head and face, down along the chest and arms, down to the tummy and the waist and the hips, down along the thighs, the knees, the shins and the feet. The entire front line of our bodies. And we give ourselves permission to allow the entire front of the body a moment to sink a little further into the back part of the body. And we move our mind into the back part of the body, scanning down the back of the head, down the back of the neck, across the back of the shoulders, into the back of the arms, along the spine, the back of the waist, down into the lower back and the back of the hips and pelvis, down along the back of the thighs, knees, calves and heels, all the way down to the soles of the feet. And with your next exhale, breath out, we invite the back line of the body to sink even further onto the supporting mat. And we give ourselves time in this truly relaxed position to absorb all of the good we have done for ourselves today so far. To absorb all of the good health that we have. And then at this stage, we invite a little bit of movement back. Maybe a wiggle of the fingers, stretch of the toes, gentle bit of neck movement. You know best and will be guided intuitively by what's right for you. Give yourself a chance to move onto your side and then just stay there to soak up another little bit of relaxation and positivity. Before eventually bringing yourself to sitting, if you like. And then we can say our namaste together, which is quite nice. It always makes me quite aware that we are doing this as a gang, as a community, as a group, and it's lovely. I love connecting with you. So thanks again, always, so much. And let's kick off this course with a little namaste. So namaste, everyone. Well done, as always. And yeah, here's to a great 6 weeks. See you soon.
Hi, Orla. Thanks very much. Good night, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Orla.
Thanks.
Good night.
Have a lovely evening now.
Thank you, Orla.